I got a new program coming out for the ladies. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch, I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate, my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor? Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that. Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't Leo King, ninja. You ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every...
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing his word across the four corners of the world. So, as you just saw from this opening video of this made-up character by the name of Dr. Umar Johnson, and he has an academy which is called the FDMG, and that's the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, based in Wilmington, Delaware. And it's supposed to be an academy that focuses on educating young so-called black boys with a focus on Pan-African principles and culture, which is nothing but a false doctrine and more so a major stumbling block upon the undesirables of our people. And more so, a lot of our people are not falling for those gimmicks anymore, because this character, Dr. Umar Johnson, has been known for scamming so-called black women for like a decade and some change. And now he's at the point of being a digital panhandler. And how about that? A Pan-African doing digital panhandling. And the reason being because this FDMG Academy is now facing the risk of being auctioned off by August the 25th of this year. And that's due to unpaid property registration fees and also outstanding utility bills. And this nigga been talking about this school damn near longer than Dr. Dre supposed to be dropping the Detox album. But we are just within those prophetic times where everybody's deeds, whether they be good or bad, is coming out to the forefront. It's coming out to the light. And that takes me right to Proverbs 20 verse 17 within the GNT. And that's the Good News translation. What you get by dishonesty, you may enjoy like the finest food, but sooner or later, it will be like a mouthful of sand. So yeah, you might have some type of pleasure with your dishonest gains and your unfair dealings. However, it's going to be a temporary pleasure, and your ill-gotten gains is not going to be a long satisfaction nor a benefit for you. So what you get by dishonesty, you may enjoy like the finest food, but sooner or later, it will be like a mouthful of sand. And as is stated within the book of Job 20 verse 5, how the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. It's all short-lived, which means that by being a hypocrite, that means that you're an actor and you're promoting a false doctrine or philosophy unto our people, because the so-called Negroes within America are not Africans. And with that being said, you should not be pushing forth a Pan-Africanism ideology unto our people. So the joy of a hypocrite is but for a moment. So it's all short-lived. And that's why he's at the state right now. He's being made a social media mockery and also being known as a digital panhandler unto the rest of the world. And that's by asking people to donate to your school or academy of $500. And a person that donates that money will have a lunch with you at a restaurant of their choosing. That man is very desperate. And as the saying goes, desperate times calls for desperate measures. And let's get this according to our law as the biblical Israelites, that you should not be entangled to doing fraudulent business schemes upon our people. And that takes me right to Leviticus 19:11. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And by dealing falsely, that's by you scamming people, swindling people, which is very unethical. Then on top of that, you're lying to our people by pushing forth this Pan-Africanism doctrine and not telling our people who they really are according to the Bible, which are the Hebrew Israelites. And we're supposed to be adopting that type of culture, principles, and also ethics, not anything dealing with Pan-African. And this verse right here is clear evidence that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua condemns scamming, swindling, or being involved into unfair dealings, like cheating people. Then to make it worse, you're scamming, swindling, and cheating people in the times of some harsh economic times, where people, especially the most of our people, do not financially have it like that, which is due to the tariffs being imposed by Trump. And that notion automatically causes a rising cost of goods and services, hence inflation. And where now you have the consumer sentiment or the consumer confidence, and that's like a measure of how optimistic or pessimistic consumers are about the overall state of the economy and also their personal finances. So throughout these economic woes, more people, especially the ones of our people, are intentionally shopping. And here you are as a so-called notable figure, like just straight trying to cheat our people and trying to get over them. And prophetically, we are within those times that the love of many is being waxed cold. And people do not play about their money. So how much more now throughout these economic hardships? And that takes me right to Proverbs 21 verse 6. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. So by being involved into these fraudulent business schemes or tactics, and where you're trying to get over the people by scamming them, that's going to lead you into a deadly trap. Because again, people are not playing about their money, especially throughout these economic hard times. And that takes me right to Ephesians 4 verse 28. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that need it. And through the gift of the Holy Spirit, and that's by us putting off that old sinful nature, by being entangled into that old worldly man, by following after the fashion of this current world, which is by being entangled into these business fraudulent schemes or tactics, by scamming or swindling people. And that's crazy because the vast majority of our so-called women, they seek after, like scammers, dope boys, or drug dealers, just total degenerates. Like being involved into such acts like that, where they were deemed as a lifestyle and more so a death style, that's highly valuable within a morally corrupted society like this, America, Babylon the Great. Like for example, look how long Dr. Umar Johnson has been getting over Eve for like a decade and some change, where he still has a social media presence. But now we're within those times we're seeing the downfall of him, of his history of defrauding people. And as again is stated, how the joy of a hypocrite is but for a moment. It's all going to be short-lived if you're involved into ill-gotten gains and unfair dealings. So let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the things which is good, that he may have to give to him that need it. So again, we're putting off that old sinful nature and being transformed into that new nature. And that's by becoming a new creature within Yahweh Shai. You have a different mindset. You move different. You're trying to move wisely as you can within this thing that we call life. You're ultimately applying Yahweh Shai, which is the true foundational standard of wisdom. Verse 29, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, and that's by propagating these false doctrines, ideologies, or philosophies. By the gift of the Holy Spirit, we're not going to be telling our people that you're Pan-Africans, or we're trying to build a school or academy within this decadent society. No, we're going to rightly divide the word of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua unto our people, whether they hear or forbear. So let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers, which are the Israel of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, because those are the particular ones of our people that are divinely preordained to hear the message of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua and also to receive the message of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And also notice that Dr. Umar Johnson stated about this so-called luncheon, that if he asks your wife or your woman, then she's going to go for this luncheon, pretty much a date with him. And what is he doing? He's promoting adultery, which is a heavy offense or violation of our law as being Israelites that's punishable by death. And that takes me right to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 9 verse 9. Again, within the GNT, don't sit down to eat with another man's wife or join her for a drink. You may give in to the temptation of her charms and be destroyed by your passion. And that's because liquor will get involved, which is why they call wine spirits. And an adulterous spirit can get on to both of these two individuals. And if you are truly applying Yahweh Shai, you would not be in a situation like this within the first place, because those are very tempting, dangerous grounds that can ultimately lead into your demise. So again, don't sit down to eat with another man's wife or join her for a drink. So that's against this so-called $500 donation scammy tactic that Dr. Umar Johnson is promoting out there. You will have a luncheon with him at a restaurant of your choice within Delaware. You may give in to the temptation of her charms and be destroyed by your passion. And again, adultery is a heavy violation or offense unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua that's very punishable by death, which makes total sense why Yahweh Shai stated and pretty much prophesied of our people and calling them an adulterous generation. So that concludes the lesson through the spirit of this digital panhandling prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. So with that, hopefully you all was edified, you all stay strong, keep pushing forward. Shalom.
Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal. My personal PayPal account is Umar the Psychologist at yahoo.com. So that's paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, paypal.me/UmarThePsychologist, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, or hit my Apple Pay using my cell number 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. I've never asked the people for $1. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I've only asked you to donate to the FDMG Academy for Boys. I don't have any sons. I have 2 daughters. So the FDMG campaign is a selfless project, mission, and service to provide our boys with the education that they deserve. But right now, I don't have any money because my account was frozen by my bank because someone has been trying to hack into my account, hack into FDMG Academy account. So the FDMG Academy account is frozen. My personal account is also frozen. That means we're going to lapse on our utility bills. We're going to lapse on our internet bill. We're going to lapse on a lot of our bills at FDMG. The bank is not giving me a timeline as to when this situation is going to be resolved.